Hello again, all of my internet friends. Welcome to another episode of the Listen to Your Parents podcast. This is where parents like me and you and our guest get together, talk about things, try to find some sense of pseudo-normalcy in this crazy post-pandemic world that we're all living in right now. First of all, I always neglect to do this, so let me take a minute right here and to personally thank Mike Sorg and our very good friends at Sorgatron Media and Psychic Media Services for pushing the buttons, manning the ones and twos, keeping the train rolling for us, and making all of this possible for you. Go to sorgatronmedia.com. Check out the great family of podcasts that are all living over there to keep you entertained and informed and all that other good stuff all day long. There's so much good stuff there. Now, let's get to tonight's guest. We're a little slim. I guess people have plans this weekend for some reason. But Tina from Seattle is with us again. How's it going, Tina?
Hi, doing good. How about yourself?
Hanging in there. I always try to book at least a couple of guests, but so a lot of our regulars were not able to join us this week, and I think I had to think for a moment, like, what could possibly be happening, and I remembered that the 4th of July is coming up this weekend. Completely snuck up on me.
A pandemic does that.
Yeah, that's a way of just wiping out these holidays, but we were even trying to piece together something similar to what we did on Memorial Day, just kind of trying to get my sisters to come over to the house, do a very low-key, low-contact sort of family get-together with our mini bubble, and it's already kind of crumbling just because of people and work and things that are happening at work. I think you know where this is going, but it's starting to fizzle. So I don't know. We might have to have one of those Orthodox 4th of Julys or 4th of July Observe later date, or maybe we'll just forge ahead with whoever we have. But I'm curious, do you have any big plans? Or I guess everything's relative, right? Relatively big plans for this weekend?
That will be tomorrow. Since I'm off, I'm weird because I was telling my younger sister, all I want to do is just change into a fresh set of pajamas, make breakfast and coffee, and stream Hamilton on Disney Plus.
Good point. Yes, that is definitely on the agenda for this weekend too in our house. We've got to watch Hamilton. I've never seen it, so I've not been in. I hear the songs here and there, but yeah, I've never seen it, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I have the soundtrack, but I haven't seen it myself either. So
very exciting. So it's been kind of a crazy week or so, and we were kind of trading messages over the last couple of days about how just things that seemed to be going in the right direction there for a while seemed to kind of be going backwards in the wrong direction. So how are things going for you up in Seattle?
It's weird, but that seems to be the norm these days. We were slowly going back to normal, I want to say, with our phases. And then we had like a spike in Eastern Washington. And because of the spikes in Eastern Washington and it not necessarily slowing down in the Seattle area, there has been they stopped the phases, and there's been a mandatory mask order put in place. Yeah,
we had a similar thing here in Pennsylvania. Just put it in about a day ago.
I think ours, I want to say, started last week actually.
Yeah, but it feels like everyone's kind of going in that direction. It's another one of these weird situations where you're just waiting for all the states to, on their own, they all have to do this on their own. But be that as it may, they all just kind of like are slowly starting to fall into this pattern of doing the mandatory mask thing. So that's where we're at. As far as like the spike, a big thing with the spike has been cameo time from one of my kids. All right, get your dogs to bed.
Asleep on the couch.
I know. I wish my kids would get to bed. My older son is usually the one who's ready to go to bed at 7 o'clock at night. We have to beg him to stay awake, but something has changed, and he's now been staying up later and later, and that's eating into my free time and threatening my precious podcast.
Oh.
What the heck were we talking about? The deal with the masks. A lot of stuff has started to shift to the bars and the restaurants. A lot of finger pointing has gone that way, especially here in Western PA. The bar owners are mad. Some of the local health officials here in the Pittsburgh area put in basically a countywide ban on the sale of alcohol in bars and restaurants. They basically killed the bars. The restaurants can stay open, but they killed the bars basically for a week or so. Is that kind of been a similar theme up there?
No, and I think I showed you an article when we were discussing that today. Our Governor Inslee instituted that businesses must restrict, can't serve people, whether it's patrons or customers, unless they have a mask on.
Yeah, there's a lot of that too now. They want to get more strict in the restaurants. They want all the restaurant patrons to be wearing their masks, which is, I mean, obviously you have to take it off when you eat, but they really want to lock down on the restaurants and the bars. That seems to be the focus right now. We're going to have another cameo, I think. I think we're going to have to find it in a little bit. We've got an AWOL stuffed animal in our house. You know, I Sorg, why did I make this vow that we were always going to be like the quote unquote, we're going to keep it 100 on this podcast, no matter how unruly the children are, we're just going to roll with it. That was a terrible idea. I should have never agreed to that. I mean, and there's all these other compounding things going now, Tina. They got travel restrictions going on all over the place. Pennsylvania is now recommending that people, be quarantined if they're traveling in from these 15 states. You can look it up. They're the 15 states that are, doing the worst right now.
And I'm sure we're on there.
I have a feeling you're on it too. I'll have to check my notes real quick, see if I can find it. But yeah, it's all this backpedaling. That's the hard part. Just feeling like, we went through all this work, all this suffering for all these weeks, and now it feels like we're, starting to slide backwards. My hope is that this is just part of the process of getting us back to full, or sort of the new abnormal, as some people like to call it, where you always will have to kind of backstep every once in a while to address, things that you feel like need to be addressed.
And then going on the kids' routes, I know at least Junior, he won't start school until September. But the school district is just meeting just to figure out what to do for the fall, and it's July. So I don't. How would your out there in Pennsylvania, have you guys figured out of how you're going to do things in the fall? Because it's only 2 months away, and that'll go quick.
Yeah, it is going to come up fast. And so far, there's not been a lot of clarity on it. There's been some extended school year talk around here about actually getting the kids physically in the schools for extended school year in I think groups of 12 is what they're talking about. But there hasn't been anything real concrete on that. I mentioned probably a couple weeks ago that my 10-year-old son's youth baseball league had actually started up. They were doing practices for a couple weeks, and then sure enough, some parent came into contact with somebody, and the league basically shut down for a week. And now everything has been kind of in this, is this really going to happen? You're kind of waiting for those little those little treats, those little bonuses, the things that make you almost feel like, hey, maybe we're getting back to where we need to be, getting snatched back away from you. And so that's been a little weird.
Can we just blame Florida?
Of uncertainty.
Can we just blame Florida? No, I'm joking.
Well, we can blame Florida, but you also get a lot of, at least here in Western Pennsylvania, it's a lot of finger pointing at young people too. They're getting these testing data is coming back, and it's showing, more young people starting to spread the disease. I don't know.
Yeah,
there's a lot of data out there. It's hard to get to be too hard on people.
I think I want to say the Greek row, at least out here, the Greek row at the University of Washington, they just had 60 cases.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's rush week. But I think it might be, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a while since I was in college, and it's hard to put my mind back into that place and try to think of like how would I be handling this? Like if I were in college, some 20, 19, that 20-year-old snot-nosed kid, and I happen to be going to college, where would my mind be at this point? And I just I guess you know I I would like to think that I would not be, going out to the bars, to these crowded bars with no mask, or going to these frat parties with no mask and just crowded rooms everywhere. But I have a feeling I probably would. I mean, this is, kind of par for the course for that age group.
And then don't forget the newly graduated seniors who will be starting their freshman year. This is going to be unorthodox for them in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah, you wonder what it's going to be like for them getting back into school too. I know a lot of the colleges and universities are trying, but man, it's asking a lot. Trying to get all those people back in there. There have been some good things, and we always like to try to spotlight, personal accomplishments. Longtime listeners might recall there was a point very early in this pandemic, perhaps even before the lockdown started, where I decided it was time to rip the baseboards out of one of my bathrooms. Seemed like a good idea at the time. I mean, it was definitely a good idea. There's no arguing the baseboards needed to be pulled out and replaced. The biggest questions were whether I could competently replace them. And there was also the issue of like, suddenly everything goes into lockdown to the point where you're not even ready to leave the house anymore, even if it is just to go to, stand in line at the Lowe's or the Home Depot. And so I'm staring at, my bathroom with no baseboards for weeks and weeks and weeks. Finally got out, got the supplies, and did the thing, and actually managed to install baseboards in one of my bathrooms. And it doesn't look too bad. I can't believe I did it.
See, you had the ambition to complete a project and you did it.
I mean, it had all my favorite hallmarks of a home project for me. It had the procrastination. That's the big key. A lot of procrastination on that one. And, but once it got finally, once they finally got put in, I just, great sense of accomplishment. Almost to the level of mowing the lawn. Pretty close to that level every time I mow the lawn, just feeling like I've taken over the world. The other thing, all right.
Okay, there was a snotty look from Jen, I'm guessing.
Oh no, this is the one where we bring Jen back into the storyline here. One thing, all right. Well, let's circle back to the bathroom because we got time to address this. The wife. It's very critical, very very cynical of my abilities when it comes to any handyman, projects around the house. She, whether it's replace a faucet, anything. She's like, I don't know about this. I don't know if you should be looking under there. Let's just give it a shot. Let's see if we can get this done. This one, the big turning point was me. So I tear out these baseboards. And my plan is that because it's a bathroom frequented by my two boys, that it would be very wise for me to not get wood baseboard for the next installation, but to actually go and get PVC baseboard, outdoor industrial, deck quality, waterproof, resistant, the whole 9 yards baseboard. Put that into the bathroom. So if there are any misfires, you've got a better chance of
as a boy mom, I approve.
Yeah, you have a more you got a better chance for a successful cleanup because that was becoming an issue. So we're out there. I mean, look, all right. These kids have been lectured about this a billion times. Look at your target. Fire at your target.
Just fire at the target.
Just keep your eye. Keep your eye on
keep your eye on the ball. Don't be distracted, unless you're my son who wants to bring his phone and watch YouTube while he's doing that. But
yeah, there's a lot of that going on. Yeah, but there's a lot of like keep your eye on the ball, which sounds absurd, but yeah, that's exactly what's going on. You got kids in there not looking at where they're aiming, and just disaster. And do you think those boys are going to be cleaning up after them? No, that's not happening. You can barely stop them. You hear the flush and they sprint out of the room to get away from the evidence. So I rip out the baseboard. Sorg, this happened. This is the thing.
This is the thing.
You would think this would have been solved. I was very hopeful that this issue would have been solved at perhaps age 4 or 5. No, that's not what's happening. No, this is going to be an ongoing ordeal.
This is an ongoing ordeal. I actually want to say even to their teenagers, possibly even grown, depending on how much they pay attention. I know my 12-year-old still does it. Don't know freaking why, but anyways.
Yeah, it's upsetting. It's just too bad. What a disappointment. Anyway,
do we have to throw Fruit Loops into the bowl? I mean, hey.
I've gotten all that too. They're just like, well, just throw this thing in there. Make them shoot. I'm like, my kids are 10 and 13. Just do the thing. It's like we are so far past the little toddler stunts. You just gotta focus and aim and fire. 15 seconds, done. In, out, gone. Wash your hands. We'll work on that next time. But so out come the baseboards, these disgusting baseboards. And as I'm ripping it out, and I've got this new baseboard, I have to take a look at like how much I've gotten. The very limited on your selection when it comes to the PVC baseboard. You only have like basically one, and the height is not quite enough to get above where the old baseboard was. So I've got this like line of destruction if I just throw these baseboards in. So I have not only created the project of so by beginning the project of replacing the baseboards, I have created a second project for myself: repaint the bathroom. And that also comes with gonna have to patch all these holes too, and that compounds into a whole nother thing. Long story short, get the patchy stuff, patch up the things, clean up that line across the baseboards as best as I could, and it is time to go and get some paint and repaint this bathroom. Now, my wife will tell you she made many suggestions to me on the color she wanted me to paint this bathroom.
Hold on.
Okay.
Was it suggestions, a forcible suggestion, or a demand?
It was definitely not a demand. There was never a this color, do it. There were kind of like I do remember a very vague blue-yellow suggestion. A blue or yellow suggestion, blue and yellow. We all know what that would turn out to be. And we don't want that color in the bathroom. So it's left to me to go to the home improvement store and to get the paint. It is time to get the paint. I get to the store. I find the indoor mildew resistant.
Again, our previous conversation.
Where is the everything I was looking for in a baseboard, I'm looking for in a paint at this point. And, so we get the paint. I get the paint. I'm alone. I get my can of paint. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at that wall of colors. I'm going to be honest right here. This is the admission I did not make to my wife when she came home and scolded me. I looked at the wall of colors. I looked at the booth, thought about all the trouble that was coming, all the, just too much of an inconvenience for me. I'm just like, I'm just going to paint it white. I walk out. I'm taking this white paint. I just walk out the door. No color, no nothing. Just it's going to be white. It'll be fine. Paint primer in one coat. We're done. It's going to be great. Bring it home. Doesn't ask what color I got when I get home. No inquisition about that. So I just pop it open. Let's see other and start painting the walls. Jen comes in, sees a few brush strokes. She's like, "You got white?" Yeah, I got white paint. Just whatever. It's simple. It's easy. What? I don't have it here, buddy. I don't know where it is. Okay, there's another run-in. What's that? How many run-ins from the kids are we up to tonight, Sorg? Is that 4? That's like 3? Why'd you get white paint? I was like, well, No, I didn't tell her. I was too lazy to pick a color at the home improvement store. Take it up to the guy at the booth and walk away. I just said, I thought white would be nice and clean. It'll make the room feel bigger, right? A light color will make the room feel bigger.
Matt, again, you have 2 boys and you're painting a bathroom white.
I know. Oh, I know. I know the risks I'm taking. I know the chances I'm taking. It's all right.
Just saying.
You don't have to. Hey, believe me, the thought crossed my mind. Definitely the finalist in my mind was yellow, but like I said, just the going to that was just more than I could, in that moment, just more than I was willing to do. So I brought home my white paint and I painted my bathroom white. The good news, it came out looking really nice, but you're right. Now I have white walls in my bathroom. We'll see how it works out. They've grown up a lot. Maybe the aim is improved, but I gotta tell you, there's been a lot of policing. Every time they go in there, it's kind of like a head peeking around the corner. I'm like, you get my game? Watch your aim. Stay on target. Stay on target. A lot of that going on. And that's the story. That was the story of the bathroom. I hope everyone enjoyed that. I even got Noah to help me paint a little bit, so that was nice, right?
Good. Little.
You're tired, huh? Yeah.
At least that way he'll get some home improvement skills in early.
A little bit, Why did the wall change color? Now he'll know.
No, you want to sleep on me?
We'll see. He's tired. He's ready for bed now. Go ask your mom.
No.
All right, we'll see how we're doing here. All right, one last quick story, and then I'm going to help my kid get to bed here.
No worries.
Now, Jen came around. All right, she saw how nice the bathroom looked. Hey, you know what? The white came out nice. Hey, look, you installed baseboard. Heck of a job. Good job there, handyman. And then I went on top of that, and I actually, in one of my many baking accomplishments, I baked apple bread today. Real apples, chopped them up.
Oh, wow.
Made the thing, put it in there. Jen was like in awe. Like, this is the most impressed she's ever been with me, perhaps ever. She could not believe the quality of this apple bread. I just, I found it off some random site. I will post it. I will post the link in the show notes, so everyone at home can take their extra apples and make this delicious apple bread. But it came out really well, and she ate a good deal of it, and she thanked me. And so, I feel like I came out the winner on this one this week. So
there you go.
Courageous home improvement projects once again.
And then baking and the baking to end it.
I'm undefeated in baking during the pandemic. Everything has come out looking great. I'm almost done. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to wrap it up here. Tina, I'm sorry. I feel like I've done all the talking, but is there anything else on your mind that you wanted to get out there? Any words of wisdom or inspiration you want to share with everybody?
No song quotes for the week, so I can't really. Just the usual: stay safe out there. For God's sakes, wear a mask. Can't believe I have to say that.
Have you been seeing? Did you see kind of like that kind of like sliding away from the mask thing? Because you're out there every day. You are an essential worker, and not the kind of essential worker who like works from home. You are out there every day working. Did you see kind of like the mask thing kind of drifting?
No, I guess with my work life, it's we deal with the most vulnerable population who can have health complications on top of health complications. So we strongly encourage like mask wearing, especially since we're a fairly small crew in our office. And then at least I know my director and one of my team members, they're at the at-risk population too. So like our, I guess it's our policy is pretty strong when it comes to masks, but at the same time too, our company has actually been really good to us as far as being a frontline worker. So that's something good too.
I'm happy to hear it. Well, hey, stay safe out there. It's always nice to catch up with you. Hopefully, this is just a little bump in the road, and we get back to our new sort of normal sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
And to everyone who took the time to listen to us, thanks a lot. Check us out: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I must now get my unruly kids to bed. They're in rare form this week, and this is just an escalation. So we'll see how much worse it gets tomorrow. But wish me luck. Good luck to all of you parents out there getting your kids to bed, getting them to pee directly into the toilet. Keep at it. Never give up, even once they're teenagers. They can do it. They just need encouragement. And we'll see you next